That old filter didn't look too good. The fuel filter was a mess. So,
well, I kind of thought that.
yeah.
That's why I suggested it.
So everything fit. Belts are iffy. It's actually one belt we have to worry about. I'm not worried about the power takeoff belt. We don't use that anyway. The alternator drive belt seems okay, but we do have to watch it kind of close. It may.
Wouldn't you say that once a year you should change the fuel filter?
Oh, absolutely.
After the season's over, you do it again?
Well,
or in the spring first?
Well, it depends what you're doing. If you're storing it for the winter, you change it in the spring before when you fire it up and you drain those.
But we might use it for a plow.
But if we're going to use it in the wintertime year-round, we just basically change the filter spring and fall. You know, at the start of the summer season, at the start of the winter season.
So far, fortunately, we haven't had that much snow that we have to do that much plowing yet.
Fuel smells good and clean. That's what I wanted. Nobody ran over me on the way to Brownstown today.
You went to Brownstown?
Yeah, it only takes 12 minutes with the tractor.
Oh.
But see, that's what we need to do before we change oil. We got to get it up and let it run a little bit.
So did you get it cleaned there in the wash place?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a lot of the stuff just doesn't want to come off. But, you know, they've got lithium grease and everything like that. So, and I need to check the training fluid. Probably also about that year on the transmission. There's a filter screen too. I'm not overly worried about it now, but at some point in summer we need to tackle that. Right now, as far as the tractor is concerned, my main concern is getting this thing up and running to the point and before we can mow with it and get this jungle knocked down before January.
Let's get close to 10 o'clock, Phil.
I'm going to take care of a couple other little things out here. I'm going to mount the tail light, get that mounted.
What are you supposed to use?
Distilled.
Oh.
Those minerals. The seal's good, we're good.
Really? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, the seal's good, we're good.
Well, then I think we should. Are we going to put any freezer in?
As soon as we get distilled water,
Well, instead of spending money, let's try it and see if it works good.
Oh, if the seal's not broken on the jug, it's fine.
Because the older it is, I just soon get rid of it right away.
Oh, absolutely. This takes 4.4 quarts. It's going to use half a gallon, half a jug of antifreeze, and half a gallon of distilled water.
Should we pick up some tonight? Distilled water? I gotta go in town to the with Joey.
No, we'll pick it up tomorrow when we go in the morning to that other stuff.
Okay.
The main reason you use distilled water is the dissolved minerals act like an abrasive, and that's what tractors with water do.
Is there a certain kind of distilled water you want?
Isn't distilled water distilled water?
Yep.
I know, but
Oh, you mean a brand?
Lime and calcium and garlic that comes in tap water that's a problem. And the chlorine doesn't do us any favors either. So just distilled water, even if it's distilled drinking water, it's got a few minerals in it, that's not a big deal. As long as it's not
drinking distilled water. I heard some new people say you need to drink distilled water.
Yeah, I know. The theory is that distilled water doesn't carry pollutants into your system, and so since it doesn't have stuff dissolved in it, it's supposedly going to carry more stuff out of your system, and that's complete hogwash.
Well, you know what my doctor told me? He said that you shouldn't drink straight distilled water all the time. No. He said 50-50.
You need the minerals.
He said 50-50 is good.
You need the minerals. Or even worse than distilled is reverse osmosis. It's so active I can take RO water from a reverse osmosis generator and I can fill one of those old aluminum iced tea pitchers, stick it in the fridge. You go back in 2 weeks, there's water in the bottom of the fridge and the pitcher is literally dissolved. Water is a very active solvent. The only reason it doesn't do what it doesn't attack things like metal and stuff like that is it's got so much calcium and other particulates suspended in it. It's at the point of saturation. You take all that stuff out, that water will do some damage. So the thing here is we want distilled water. We use RO water. We just want to minimize the minerals and any that's one of the problems. When you have tap water in here, the ethylene glycol or polyethylene, depending on the formulation of antifreeze, that antifreeze doesn't fully mix with the water because the water's already reached the point of saturation with lime, calcium, iron, what have you. So that's how you extend the life of your cooling system big time, and it does a better job of cooling the engine.
Now, what about my van or a car? Is this a matter to use distilled or not distilled?
Yes, any engine you should use this. Never put tap water in your radiator.
Really?
Never put tap water in a battery. Ever.
Even in an emergency?
Even if you've got no other choice and you're out in the middle of nowhere, you got to do what you got to do.
But otherwise, yeah, I get you.
But you can just one shot of tap water in a car battery will literally trash the battery in about 3 months, maybe 4. And some of the chlorine and stuff doesn't react well with the sulfides in the battery, the solution in the battery. So you're better off just always play it safe, always use distilled water at the very minimum, and you're good.
Okay, so what do we do next?
Well, I got to check the oil level. I wanted to give it a chance to settle, and then I got to tighten up that fuel filter collar, make sure it's good enough. I might need to go get a channel box.
Honey, what are you going to be doing?
I'm going in and I'm going to work on the books.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go paint. Work on that wall in that new office.
Well, you can see the filter through there now. That's the whole idea. That thing was so grimed up you couldn't tell if it was fuel in that bowl or not. All right, let me check the oil and then we'll fire it up. I already fired it up once to get it circulating through the filter. That oil's so clean I can't even tell where it is on the dipstick. Oh,
I've been there.
It's perfect.
Yay, Jim.
That's what came out.
What is that?
That's the old motor oil with a little bit of diesel fuel and water in it.
Yuck.
Too bad you didn't meet the guy who was that diesel mechanic farmer that came here from 70 miles. Man, was he good. You guys would really have a talk.
Okay, guys, I'm going in. Oh, wait a minute. Here she goes. Yay! Hooray for Jim!
That's Betsy now.
Oh, we named
we named her
John Betsy? Okay.
John Deere tractor, but she's a Betsy.
All right. She sound better?
I can tell it sounds better.
And the one thing about using
Hey, Joe wants to learn how to do this. To
Do
mow
what?
grass.
Oh, good. On the John Deere?
Only I want you to teach him because I don't want to have no attitudes.
Also, you could teach him about the distilled water and what he needs to know to do the engine
One of
right.
our other issues is I'm going to have to get this thing off. That's so bashed up, it's actually restricting the exhaust. That's not good. So
How much is
Can
it?
you take a screwdriver and a hammer to it?
Not really. If we replace that, it's
It's pretty rusty.
probably $5-6.
Just that
But
front little
if we,
piece.
if we get the longer one to make us to put it back the way it's supposed to be with a stack, that might be 10 or 15. And I take these off, put new gasket material, rotate it up, put the stack up, and it gets the exhaust out of our faces.
Let's do it that way.
I saw Glenn's the other day when he was here.
Well, we're not going to go. We're not
nice.
going to put a fancy chrome stack on it with
with
a little flapper thing. No, that's kind of.
Is that what he has?
That's kind of Mexican, actually. That's kind of like.
He's just a romantic.
Well, that was the old hot rod style, and yeah, sure. But,
don't need that.
You know, chrome rust. It's
Okay, Jim.
I want the black finished, so it's just going to look like it's a factory muffler, and it's going to last for years. That's what I care about.
I'm pretty sure we can get it in a few days.
Oh yeah.
Betsy looks nice, better than she was. Maybe we can get a little green paint.
She needed to get out and run.
If we can get past the gas bills and the...
What'd you find?
If you ever have to change the fuel filter, you take this valve, shut-off valve, shut the fuel off. Undo that collar, it drops out, pop the filter element off, replace it, reverse it, put that back. And if the fuel filter bowl is off, what do we do? Okay, should be able to tighten that up a little bit. If the fuel filter bowl is off and you open that valve, you can drain the water out of the tank. So, easy breezy. Oil filter's on this side, undo the bolt, floods right out, go to the other side, you can get right to the oil filter. Oil change on this is a breeze.
Good.
And through the parking brake, put it in gear, ain't going nowhere.
Nice, Jim. Good work.
I love this old
You're
tractor.
amazing.
I really do. This